the Motivational Mofos, a podcast for rebels who will never stop pushing the limits of what is possible and attainable in their lives, hosted by me, Scoob Lansdorfer, and Virginia Coe, both who have faced and overcome obstacles every day, every moment of our lives. We are doing that, utilizing the power of mindset, action, and rebellion. What's up, Virginia?
What's up?
Nothing. Another day, another dollar. I don't like
Love
that.
how every time you hit record, it pops up a little thing that says this session is now recording. Do you want to leave the meeting? And so many times I want to hit leave meeting.
Leave meeting. That is so funny.
Be an asshole and disappear.
Dude, just go. That is so awesome.
Today
You should totally do that. That'd be so cool. I want to see if we went live on Facebook real quick. Let me see. Yeah, I think we're good. That'd be wait, this meeting is being live streamed. Yeah, I know. See, I could leave right now too. When we leave, you can do it on your own.
Shit, I just gave you the idea.
I know, that was a great idea. So what's up? How you been?
I have been great. So many cool things are happening, and yeah, I'm not ready to share, but I'm telling you, all the cool stuff is happening. I'm back in the St. Mary's house, which is fun. Yeah. And I'm going to enjoy the 4th of July celebration in good old Main Street, USA. Yeah. So it'll be fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're going, my boys a race, motocross race up in, it's like 3 hours north of here. We're going to go there tomorrow. And then I'm going to a lake, that lake I've been at. We've been kind of talking. People, if they're looking at my Facebook page, you'll see some of the pictures and everything. But yeah, I'm going to get back to that lake. I've been just trying to find my peace at that lake like crazy. We actually had a conversation, like, because we never go with a title, or we never come up with any kind of script or we start these damn things and we don't even have even a headline of what we're going to do, so to speak. So that's how raw this kind of these podcasts with me and you are, just so people realize, like, a lot of people use an outline. A lot of people use a script, like the whole thing scripted out.
Could you imagine?
That's walls to me. That's boxed in. But a lot of people use like almost like the chapters of a book, but we don't even do that. We literally just come up with what we're going to talk about, like 5 minutes before this.
Based on a kombucha bottle.
Based on this bottle right here. Right there it is. There it is. So what happened was, to set this up. Well, anyhow, then I'm going to the lake. What was I getting to there? I don't even know. Back to
that's what you were doing.
Yeah, so that's what. Say it again.
So we're just catching up.
Just catching up, yeah, because it's been a while. We got to try to. We always say this, but we never do. Try to do it a little bit more, I think, because people are liking our podcast. So if you guys are liking this, please give us big thumbs up. That lets us know that we got to get our asses in gear and maybe try to do this at least once a month.
I am so willing. Mr.
Don't put the blame on me.
In 14 million directions.
Mm-hmm. So true. I love this podcast. Actually, I love doing this podcast, and every time we do it, it makes me feel so good. And I miss it when we're not doing it. And it's I just love it. I love it. I'm not actually
nothing else. You and I get something out of it. When you and I talk, you open things up for me. I open things up for you. So even just that little bit, it's beneficial for you and I to do it. So why wouldn't we share it with other people? So maybe they get something out of the conversations that you and I have.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing. You just hit the whole basis of it. Hopefully someone gets out of the same thing that we get, opening up in a way, or taking a new step left or right or whatever we need. And through that conversation, that's what we say right in the beginning of this, the stories. Our stories of our actions, mindset, and our rebellion. I love the rebellion part, because I hate being following the path, right? The beat in path. I like going off that path a lot.
Not all of us are meant to walk the same path. Well, none of us are meant to walk the same path. There are 7 billion people on the planet. We all identify differently. Look at our fingerprints. We have 7 billion different fingerprints. None of us are the same.
Yeah.
So to try to put yourself in a box sometimes feels really constrictive and suffocating. And don't stay in the box if it doesn't feel good. Like,
exactly.
Change shit.
That's the beautiful thing about us humans, as being a human being. You can change that. See, I get frustrated I shouldn't say frustrated. it gets me sometimes. I've been doing this thing, more flow, less friction, on Facebook, and that's kind of what I'm actually kind of we're doing too, making a program off of more flow, less friction, kind of in your business, in your life, how to get more flow and less friction. I'm actually going to use this podcast today as that commitment that I made to do a video a day for 30 days. So so I'm going to use it today. You don't care, right?
I do. I think that is huge. I did something. So I joined TikTok.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable. But once you I've told people this before, if it bothers you, if it makes you uncomfortable, keep doing it until that wears off. So being seen for me is uncomfortable.
That's the friction.
But I have control over it. So I have to unravel that and think, why is this so uncomfortable for me? Who cares if people judge me? Who cares? Like, just get out there, for crying out loud.
Correct. You got to.
If I can help one person,
that's all counts.
Cool.
And that's your friction. It's going to start with that. That's what you need for the flow. You have to have the friction. The friction's got to be there. The friction's actually not a bad thing. It's a bad thing when you hold on to the friction for too long, and then it starts to affect you negatively. But you need the friction to actually kick you in the ass to get the flow, and the friction to start to become good at what you're trying. The problem is, in this world these days, we're switching a little bit. Most people want instant gratification, right? So they want to have the ultimate blow, their TikTok channel blow right up. And if they doesn't, they quit. Either they quit or they make some excuse that's because
they're doing it for an intent that doesn't match their alignment. If I did it for likes, I'd have quit. No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm doing it for me. Like, I have to do it for a personal reason. And whether it's your job, something in your life, like, the money will come with your job if you're passionate about the job that you're doing. The relationships will come if you're passionate about the person you're becoming. Mm-hmm. So you don't do it for a reward necessarily. You do it because you're passionate about it.
Absolutely. That leads perfect into what we were going to kind of talk about with me. And that is, when you start that, then identifying yourself as that, you identify that as you, whatever you started. Like, and that's what I start. Like, I have my Sam cart where I help people get online, start their online business. Right. Well, I started to identify myself too hard with that. Like, that's me. That's actually me. And it's really not me at all. It is to a degree. If this might not be making so much sense, but when I say that isn't completely me, because completely me is this person that does this. That's a person that is searching for peace constantly. That's a seeker that loves it. So there's a whole bunch of different things, right? And but I've been identifying myself hard with that, and I started to notice all these stresses coming on. With deadlines, and this wasn't done, and that wasn't done, and and it's like, and that's what the story I was telling you when we started this podcast. I had the universe speak to me because I was just really felt it. I feel it in my chest, like it comes in my chest. That's where I get this anxiousness. It goes into my neck and stuff, and I know that happens because I'm a Taurus. All guaranteed. I've looked into that, and that's where we get affected a lot. That's another thing we need to talk about sometime on a podcast. We need to have a podcast. This hit me the other day, and I was going to say it to you, never did. Just here I go off on a tangent, off of what I was talking about, and that's we need. I know we need to have just a conversation about us being Tauruses, and that just a podcast on that and that alone, because a lot of people forget that it's in our logo. And we now hardly ever talk about it, but we're both Tauruses, and I think it's an amazing thing. I love being a Taurus. I just joined this group on Facebook. I seen it. It gave me a suggestion. I was like, let me try this, and I'm like loving this. It's all Tauruses, right? And it's really it's crazy. I've actually learned stuff in there about myself that made sense that I never paid attention to because I wasn't aware of it. But just these simple memes that they'd post, I'm like, oh, that's why I do that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I feel like the most untouristy Taurus ever. Like, I'm not. We're supposed to be very attached to like luxury and stuff like that. I like luxury, but I am not attached. I'm not attached to anything.
But
do I enjoy it? Yes. But do I have to have it? Depends what your idea of luxury is.
That's it, 100%.
Sitting in the middle of a lake, yes, I need to have it.
Correct. I'm the same way. And you grow too as a tourist. You might have been younger and think, I mean, I'm not saying this for you, but whatever, but you think that you wanted this luxury and that maybe that car or that whatever. And then as you get older and you grow and you, like you said, that we just said earlier, that house you're at, the last time you were there, you had an experience of letting go of stuff. Well, that letting go made growth in you for new things that you appreciate. Your new luxuries can be completely different. You know what I mean? But I also agree with, I got to say this really quick too. I feel like I'm not a tourist either in a lot of ways, just because a lot of things I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? But I also am in a lot of ways too. But so I understand that statement completely.
Yeah, we're supposed to be attached to luxury. Food. Look, I know what I like. I'm a girl who likes to eat. You don't get this shape not eating. And then we're also supposed to be lazy. And that one is one that I've always struggled with, that I've been called lazy a lot, but we are not lazy.
No, I struggle with that.
When we get up to tackle something, watch the fuck out.
Game on. Game on. There's no doubt about that.
Don't take my rest for laziness, because in the midst of that, I'm contemplating next steps and I'm doing the work, but I'm not what is it? Work smarter, not harder. Yeah,
work smarter, not harder. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, I so agree with that. I do the same thing. Yeah, that lazy one drives me nuts, because I am always going after what I want. I go for it. I'm not lazy with it all, but I understand where it could look lazy at the outside, because sometimes you just said it so perfect. I step back and we're overthinkers too. We're known to think pretty hard and heavy, and that's me calculating stuff. And it looks like I'm being lazy at that moment in time, but I'm not. I'm actually making a massive fucking plan. You know what I mean? Yep. So, but sometimes that's a hindrance too.
Really good with what you wanted to talk about today too, is that overthinking part. So let's dive in to the topic that we decided to talk about today, which was the chatter in your mind.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that you were stressed, and then you pulled out the kombucha bottle, and it was like pulling an oracle card essentially out of your refrigerator.
It really was. Say it again.
What did it tell you?
Oh, here's what it told me. You cut out. I couldn't hear. So I was going to leave to set this up just a little bit. Like I told you earlier before we started, I was like, a lot of chatter was going on in my head. It was bad. I was identifying myself with this project too hard and too heavy. And so it was causing the deadlines and stress and pressure and blah, 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 blah. So I went to walk out and to leave this place. And for some reason, something stopped me and turned around to get in this fridge. I would have never went back and gone in this fridge for any reason whatsoever. I didn't even get in for this bottle of, how do I always pronounce this right? Kombucha, but kombucha. So I forgot it was even in there. There was nothing. This is one of them separate fridges from the main fridge. It was just sitting there. And I just, some reason, just like took a look in there. And I forgot I put 2 bottles of this in there. And here's another thing. I could have grabbed either bottle. They were side by side, facing right out. And I just grabbed this bottle. I'm like, I'm going to take a sip of that. Took a sip, started to walk. And I was like, oh, I remembered on the back, they always give you these words. I don't know if you can see it, but it's words of enlightenment. I love them. And I haven't seen one forever. I kind of forgot about them. And also all that setup, what I was just telling you about, I turned this around and I read, and it said, bring patience to your purpose and all futures will flourish. So bring patience to your purpose and all futures will flourish. So I was like, oh my gosh, it just hit me like it was a sign right there. I mean, it was so obvious. I literally just felt everything go. Good. I simply need to just bring patience to all this, to this purpose, to any purpose, right? And I stepped out of that door.
Hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I stepped out that door. I took a breath and stepped out that door completely different than when I was about to step out before I grabbed that bottle. And you know what? I was like, I started to say things like, fuck it. It doesn't really matter. I'm identifying myself too much with that. I'm letting the chatter in my mind go crazy, which I don't need to do. I don't need to do that at all. I can separate from myself and kind of look at it and just laugh at it. You know what I mean? And just be patient. That's the key. Because I noticed in my life, in the last, well, not my life, in the last couple of months when I've been building stuff, all the stuff, good stuff comes when I'm patient. When I'm actually calm and I relax, I'm getting good meditations in, and I'm relaxing, calm, and patient, is when everything comes, you know. But it never comes when I'm in this jittery state, this tension state. Just never happens.
Nope. And on an energetic level, when you try to force something, it doesn't work. You repel it.
Yeah.
So if you can just be calm and let things naturally evolve, they work much better in your favor.
Yeah.
But that's really hard for the average American to sit still.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we're so used to running at a certain pace because of other people's expectations. If you have a 9-to-5 job, you know exactly, you can't be late. You can't take your time on a project. You actually have to hit deadlines and work in a particular way. And when you go home, you're still in that mode. So it's
Yeah.
very hard to like calm.
Mhm.
And that's where meditation comes in and things like that, when you really have to unlearn the patterns of behavior that you're executing during the day.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. And that's why meditation, I think everyone should try to take up in some way, shape, or form. But I've talked to a lot of people. Like, I always wanted to make this program, making meditation fucking cool again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people think it's hippie and all this, making meditation rad, like make a program about that. But the big thing I've learned recently, and I think would help, it would help people tremendously with meditation, is this thing of like, and this is crazy. When I left there with after reading that bottle and started driving home, I think I started listening to Pandora, and something come on about chatter in your mind, right? So it was like back to back. And one of the things they said in there was what I believe in, and that is, don't try to stop your mind. Like the West tries to teach you to stop your mind, freeze your mind. You got to lose all. No, that's your mind. It's been millions of, this thing's the most sophisticated thing on the planet. And don't try to stop it. Meditation's, you can't. You got to actually let it go. It's like saying, they made a great point. It's like you trying to stop your heart right now. Why would you want to stop your heart? You trying to stop your liver from doing what it does, or stop your kidney from doing what it does. Your brain does what it does. You can't try to stop it. Meditation is not about stopping it. It's about stepping aside from it. I said it a little bit earlier, being aware of what it does and just kind of letting it do its thing. And then finding that calm and peaceful, and that not identifying. There's the back to that with it. Don't identify with it. Don't identify. You can identify with just small little things. I could identify with this coffee and it could stress me out, right? In fact, does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I tell people to be a witness, like witness everything that's happening to you. You do not have to sit in a uncomfortable space and hold on to every negative emotion. Step back and look at these things that are coming through. It's almost like you're a strainer.
Yeah.
And your emotions flow through you. If you hold on to all of that, clog up your strainer, that's some nasty shit. Why are you holding it?
Mm-hmm.
Let it flow through. Like, recognize if you're having a bad day, if you're sad, recognize the sadness, cry it out.
Yeah.
But don't sit in there and be like, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe this happened, because that's what we do. And that's what clogs up our strainer. Instead, you can recognize it and say, oh, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah.
But we're going to let it go, let it flow through us, do our internal showers, cry it out. Mm-hmm. But don't live in that moment. Like, really step aside and witness what's happening, but don't. So many times we hold on to shit that we don't need to hold on to.
Correct. And we that chatter in our mind that's going crazy, we let it like stress us out, hold us back, put barriers around us, when just let it go. Just let it do its thing. It's like, yeah, like I said earlier, it's like trying to get your liver to stop. Liver, quit
those
doing
words are triggering to some people. Let it go. It's not as easy as we make it sound, but it's taken us a long time to get where we are. And it's through practice of, I don't have to sit in this moment. I don't have to hold on to. shitty things happened to me last year.
Yeah.
And I found myself in these places of, why'd they treat me like this? And I would hold it. And that it's like holding on to a car battery in the rain. Like, it hurts. So why are you holding it? It doesn't make sense. So once you let it go and observe, like, okay, they did these things for me. Like, I get to change my life based on what just happened. And my life is so much better now that I could step back, see it for what it was, move past it without having to relive the pain, hoping that something changed. The only thing that changed was me. I get to change me.
Yeah, that's it. And you get to within that change, and with that change, be that new shining light that comes out, right? It is crazy that it's not crazy. I shouldn't say crazy. What's crazy, what I'm about to say, is that we don't realize this, but we look at it as it's all these outside things that are affecting our lives, that are making us feel this way, or do this, or act this way, or be this way, and it's really not. It's all starts right with you. And you're just the best thing you can do is go inward. If you go inward, then and recognize, just like you were talking about, the things that are happening in your life, through a couple means, because you got a couple means within you. You got this brain that's sophisticated, but it goes crazy. Then you got this heart separate from this body that accumulates emotion and feelings and stuff like that too, through your heart. You know what I mean? But your heart, and we've said this so many times, and everyone knows this, is trying to really guide you to the right thing. I read a thing today that was really awesome. It said, wait, how'd it go? I'm going to get this kind of wrong, but I'm going to try to hit it right. It says, the mind saying, follow me. The heart saying, no, I'll guide you. Let's go over here. But the soul saying, shut up, you two. I got the ultimate happiness, the ultimate joy. You know what I mean? So you got that soul in there too. But that soul and that heart, to me, they're pretty connected, right? This brain is it's awesome, because we need it. It's a highly sophisticated thing. It's a very highly sophisticated computer, and it's like a knife. It's sharp.
But it runs on a totally different system.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people your brain is the entertainment center. It's the entertainment, and it runs off of old programming.
If you let it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't,
it's designed to keep you safe. It is such a primitive piece of equipment. Nobody wants to believe that their brain is like ridiculously slow.
Yeah.
And you think about your conscious behavior. It's running at is it a 40-bit processor, where your nervous system or your subconscious is running at a 40 million bit processor.
Correct.
So your brain is complete entertainment. It's running loops of things that have happened in the past. It is designed to distract you and to keep you safe, but it doesn't realize that it's working off of old programs. It's running off of outdated material, because by the time you're thinking those memories of pain or whatever, it's done. Like, those are all in the past.
Yeah.
Are they going to happen again? They could, but they haven't happened yet. So don't create it in your brain.
Yeah.
Definitely listen to your heart. And you can actually talk to your body and talk to your heart. And it's really neat, because your heart can override your brain. Yeah. So if you are in this place of indecision, and I don't know if you do know, but you need to communicate with your heart center and your soul. And in order to do that, you can ask questions directly to it and say, heart, ask whatever that question is. And that instant answer is coming from your heart. If it takes longer, it's coming from your brain, and you have to start asking questions like, where did that answer come from?
Yep, absolutely. And they're proven, like, scientists are proving that there's another brain in your gut. In your gut, in your stomach. That sounds crazy. That might sound crazy to some people who've never heard this. this idea, but it's literally being proven right now that there's another whole brain, functioning brain system in your gut, which is basically the old saying was, trust your gut, follow your gut.
It
It's your
is the
heart and your gut.
same number of neural pathways
Ways,
are found in your gut, the same number of connections, everything found in your gut. So absolutely trust your gut. Even on this journey for me, I did some crazy things.
Yeah.
Things that logic, if I would have let my brain take over, I wouldn't have done it. I would have reacted out of fear. And my gut was telling me to take chances, take risks. And they paid off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I listened to my gut more than anything.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the bad things, if you find yourself falling into this place, is you need to stop instantly and find ways to rid this out of yourself. And that is when you start to let your mind affect your body. So your mind starts to, from the past emotion and trauma, or maybe not even trauma, whatever it is, the memories, which is just a memory, is now creating this stuff through your body, like tension or stress. Or your brain should not affect your body. Your body has its own system. That's that brain we just talked about. And its main thing is to be relaxed, calm, and focused. So it can show your true north, your true potential. Your brain is up there, it can screw that over, like you just said. So if you start to notice that you go into a memory and it starts to affect you, you feel these crazy pains of that past or whatever, that is something that's not good. You're getting deep into affecting yourself in not a positive way, and some of them ways you can do that is through meditation, through breathing. That'll start to eliminate that, and being aware of it is a great first step too, because you can go, oh, if you can just go, that memory starts where you played it on just a loop before, and you're like, you start to feel that pain from there down your arm, or that tension in your chest. Just being aware of it, you go, oh, I see what's going on here. Okay.
Start asking questions.
You start asking a better question, and you'll figure out what's going on, and you can change that rhythm, that cycle. That's a cycle that needs to be broken. Cycles in our lives are good sometimes, but negative cycles are bad. And if you can put a cut through that cycle, then, and it might not be the cure all right there at that moment, but that cut will start that skip, and the next time it'll get easier to recognize it, easier. Next thing you know, you'll be out of that cycle. But
100%.
Yeah, but you might move right into something else. It's crazy how life, one circle, like, they used to say in business, when you leave this circle, you just move to this one, and it's just a new set of problems. But
new level, new devil.
New devil. It's just the way it is. There's no getting out of this. And we look at this society now and think these with TikToks, like you said, and Facebook and all this stuff, it looks like everyone's living this grandiose, perfect life. That's a fallacy that is being portrayed, in which Facebook wants to be portrayed. So it looks like this whole thing's a fallacy, right? Everyone's going through massive problems.
It's funny because I reached out to you last week and I was like, I'm not doing so good. And it was the first time that I thought, I'm not doing good. And you're like, but I thought everything was good. Everything looks good. You look great on Facebook. Well, no shit. No shit, because I'm not gonna post. You guys have those friends that are like living in that drama, that are like, oh, my life's going to shit, I'm not one of those people. And then when I'm having a hard time, people are like, but I don't understand. Well, that's because I have not been honest on social media, because that's where all the good stuff is.
And that's why I've been doing more flow, less friction, just because I just want to give a hit every day to some positivity instead of negative bullshit. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of shit going on. We won't even go down that rabbit hole in this world, but you can still every day choose happiness, joy, and positivity, right? On that way up.
Absolutely. So I deal with a lot of clients with their energetic body. Yeah. And when you are healing, when you are a fully functioning human being, you're dealing with mind, body, spirit. Whether you believe it or not, just because I have a car I can believe that it doesn't run on gasoline, but it does. Like, so when we're talking healing, we're talking mind, body, spirit. You have to connect the dots and really work on all three. So I work with the energetic body. And I worked on somebody this week who is, love you, the most negative. He's in the most negative headspace right now. Like, everything is happening to me. Nothing is going right. Nobody is helping me. And his energy is repelling everything. And I keep telling him, you need to pull your energy back in. You need to, like, really focus on the good things, because we have talked that gratitude is key. When you start recognizing gratitude, you pull your energy inward and you strengthen that energy, and it allows you to move in a positive direction. But what he is doing is he is focusing everything outward, and he is going to deplete his body to the point where he's gonna get sick. And you guys have to really realize that it is, it's all these loops that you're playing.
It's loops.
And if you're focused on the negative ones, they have the potential to really do some harm.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
I'm so sad that he can't flip it and get the momentum going the other way. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, well, obviously he doesn't. I mean, but here's another sad thing that us human beings do, which is crazy to me. This is a definition of insanity. First of all, it's loops, doing the same thing over and over again. But another thing is to allow ourselves, before we stop ourselves, like the situation that guy is, to correct the course. He'll correct the course in two ways. Either he's gonna, let's be honest here, like straight up dead, or if that doesn't happen, rock bottom. That's what they call rock bottom. And now you have only one way, and that's back up. So you have to change course. But we are notorious as human beings to drag ourselves the whole way down there before we actually put that cut in the loop I just said about earlier, and start to right that ship. You know what I mean? And why do we do that? Because we are in these vicious negative loops that we feel there's no way out of. And one of the reasons we do this is this podcast. I mean, one of the reasons we do this podcast is to maybe break that a little, make a skip in that right now. Maybe you could take a skip in that, and you find some way to go back and say, I need to change this right now. I'm going down. You know,
it just takes one focus, like one focusing on something positive. I have had 2 rock bottoms. I have shared both.
Yeah. When you can, here's another thing though.
I don't know.
Here's another thing though. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just so much better equipped to deal with a rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That I understand gratitude is key.
Oh my gosh.
Gratitude for what you still have.
If you do nothing else at all, and you are in a position right now where your headspace is not good, you know, you're that loop's a bad habit, whatever the case may be, you're right. If you just go to gratitude right now alone, that'll help you tremendously. It's not gonna take the situation away completely if it's deep, hard, and heavy, but it'll help you for the right now. I guarantee
it'll let you float back up to the surface.
Correct.
Where if you're holding on to all the shit that, you know, I lost 2 houses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, if I held on to that, I would still be sitting in that bottom.
Yeah.
But you have to let go of all the shit that happened to you.
Yeah.
Let it go, float up. And the higher you get, the more gratitude you have.
Yeah. I mean, my story, I don't think I've ever really told. I'm not going to tell it now, but sometime the shit that I went through with a best friend and a you know, wife at the time, that just craziness. I've told you that before. People, I tell them that story, are like, wow. And that, I held on to that for a long time. That destroyed me, you know, for a long, long time. I'll tell that story sometime, but you know, but you definitely got to go to gratitude, and you can have rock bottoms throughout the day, right? Little tiny rock bottoms, not complete rock bottoms, but you have little things that, like having that stress, that was a little bit of a rock bottom down there before I found that bottle. The bottle of kombucha got me back out of that. It put me into a mind frame. I just seen something wow, that's on film. Something just moved in your crowd. Hardcore. So,
I didn't see it. I am telling you.
wow. So
What are we
wait,
going to name them?
I don't know.
So you guys know that
We
I do work with energy, and there is something in this house.
yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
Mhm.
But yeah, Scoop and I saw it earlier. So
Yeah. So maybe if you guys are watching this video, you can catch it in the back there too. I just caught it. I don't know. That might be light I'm seeing coming from your window or something passing.
could
Whatever.
be.
We ain't going down that road. There's something there. We seen it. But anyhow, what was I
We
gonna
call him
say?
George.
Oh, yeah, George. I like call him George. I like that. How about yeah, call him Flo. No, just kidding. He's got flow. He flows nice. I like the way he flows to that room. It's pretty badass. He don't got friction. He's not friction. I can tell you that.
No, he's easy going. He doesn't
Yeah.
bother me.
Yeah.
He just
Anyhow, I was going to say this. I want to say this really quick. So you were saying how you had not just recently, you were kind of had shit going on, you're letting go of different stuff. How about me just recently? I had to call you like just out of the blue because I was going through it pretty hard. This was literally what, maybe not even a month ago.
Father's
And
Day.
or yeah, it was Father's Day. That's right. Because I had my incident where a little thing where something happened with my father and went down. I thought I lost him. And I just went into a terrible, terrible spot. And I had no clue what to do and how to get rid of it. I couldn't come out of this loop. And it was this loop come on quick and it was negative and it stayed and I couldn't lose it. And I called you and I was like, I don't know, because I didn't even know what to do. I could not stop this one. And you were like, I'll do some work on you. And I literally, you had hit me and said I did the work and it was and I felt like literally 5 minutes before that. So if you guys are interested, hit her up in this energetic work because I honest to God, this is twice. I need to come to you more often because I get this for free off you. And
One day.
yeah, so because it works. I gotta say this. This is just straight up. This ain't trying to sell you on your thing. This is so true. Each time that I do that with you, I feel this just decompression. Whatever you do on your end, I feel this decompression right before you call me and say, I just got it done. Here's what it was. It was in your stomach or this or that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, I just got decompressed from that. So that psyche stuff you do is amazing.
Energy.
Yeah. Energy.
Yep.
I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And
Well,
I just got 2 more certifications. So not only am I doing Psyche, I am also doing Reiki, which I was super excited about. And again, I got these courses through a crazy chain of manifestation, and I got them for free. Y'all know I am like on my little houseless journey. I'm living mostly through my practice and through my art. Like things have happened.
yeah.
So for me to get these 2 courses and these 2 certifications was like such a gift from the universe. So good stuff happens when you shift your mindset and you become this I'm like a manifestation magnet right now.
I love it. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Yes. I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about. And it ebb and flows. And it ebb and flows off of if you're blocking it or not. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a whole nother conversation we can get into sometimes. In my work of enlightenment, getting enlightened, so to speak. It's like how I ask some crazy questions. And some of my questions are how much can you actually track? Is there a limit? You know what I mean? If I became so pure, as the word pure, you know what I mean? How much can I actually track?
It's all about your vibration.
Yeah. Well, you know, my ultimate goal, I say it all the time, right? I don't say it a lot, but my ultimate goal is to turn myself just into a ball of light. Like this would be the ultimate. We're here talking.
That's called death.
No, I turn into a ball of light and I float away. Yeah, it is called death. You're right. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I will tell you. Should I share? I have great news. This is how manifestation works. So I get my second Reiki certification. I'm really going to share this with you. Okay. And while I'm in my class for my certification, I'm doing like my live practicals on Zoom, and I'm getting text messages from the people at Cabin 37. I have shared this before. They live in Asheville. I've sat in their cabin. They were the very first house that I ever did. And I say, look, I'm in class. I'll hit you up tomorrow. So I hit them up the next day and they said, Virginia, we've been thinking about you. And we want to know, would you be interested in living in our city house for us? What? We need somebody to stay at the city house because we can't maintain the properties that we have. And we would really appreciate it if somebody was there and could like mow the lawn and occasionally watch Molly Brown, who is their dog, because they want to travel more. So I have been gifted a place to stay, an actual permanent.
That's great.
House
that's
in
so
a
awesome.
city that I love. So I'm like, what just happened? Yeah. That's what happens when you like clear out all the shit and stop holding on to all the negative. Because honestly, let's think about this and unravel it. It's an impossibility, right? In so many people's heads, being gifted a house
is an impossibility.
Impossible thought.
Yeah.
So I could have stayed in the, oh my God, I'm homeless forever, or I don't know how I'm ever going to get back on my feet, or I don't know how any of this is going to work. It's not going to work. I can't get a place, because I had just started looking for like apartments and stuff. If I would have stayed in that mindset of I can't, okay, then you won't.
Yeah, exactly.
I am so open to possibilities that possibilities will find you. If you're not attached to how things come to you,
that's so awesome.
Shit will happen.
It's so true. It is so true. And the possibilities are limitless. Really, they are. Possibilities are limitless. When it's us that put the limits on them, and then but they're limitless. Right. And here's another thing that's striking me hard is I can see, I'm watching you say this, and which I'm so happy for you. I think it's fucking amazing, but
I still can't wrap my head around it.
But I'm also seeing your journey. Like it's a right time for everything. And I can feel it emulating off. It's the right time for this. And you learned a lot because we keep in contact, and I kind of see your journey. You see mine. And I've seen your journey back at this house where you're at before. And it was just, you needed to go through this. It's time it's time to go there. And you needed this journey of living on, being homeless, so to speak, watching people's houses. It was all meant to be, right?
I learned things at each house.
Yes.
Everything was a meant to be. And sometimes I was called into a space to heal the space. And sometimes I was called into a home to be healed by the home, because they all taught me different things.
Yeah. That's awesome. I can see it.
It's ridiculous. I love it.
I'm so happy for you. It's amazing. It's amazing. That is so amazing. Well, that bleeds into a good thing that we should to teach. So we've been wanting people to join our program, and we are working on a program. We don't really have no program in line, but if you were interested in learning from both of us together or separate, either way, but we should actually do a webinar. We should have a webinar where people can join, take them in and go deeper within this stuff, just with a personal group. If people would be interested, would you? I'm just making this off the cuff, so to speak. I didn't even speak to you about this. Would you be into doing that?
Oh,
absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what we should do.
I love being able to tell people what I see them showing me, because so many times people don't even know what they're stuck in. They have blind spots. Correct. And when you ask for outside help, we can mirror back what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And help you hit that blind spot.
It's another thing too, to be in a group, right? There's something about 2 or 3 more people coming together. I mean, it's written in the Bible. It's known that when you have a group of people together, great minds start to think alike, and they come up with great ideas, and you see things that you wouldn't see on your own. There's that bird's view of, like, you're looking over me saying, hey, Scoob, you're kind of caught in this loop, in this vicious cycle. There's that cycle, and you are so caught up in it, like you just said, you don't even recognize it. And it sometimes just takes someone else to recognize it, bring it to your awareness. Now you're aware of it and you can break the cycle of it, you know? And sometimes these groups are just amazing for that alone. This podcast alone, if you're watching it, I guarantee there's people out there that's going to go through and go, yeah. Right. Other people are shutting us off. Good. That's all right too. See ya. We don't peace. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you
Won't
guys
vibe with everyone. And that's just like everyone who wants to work with us. Maybe we're not the people for you because like I don't want to work with people who aren't ready to do the work.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
that sounds harsh and self-righteous, but it's just like, why would I want to take your money if you're really not going to get what I want you to get out of it? And I want you to succeed. And if you're not at a place where you're ready to do the work won't stick.
Yeah, it won't. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. And then when you do the work and it sticks, you gotta reinforce that, back that up, keep moving forward to keep it. It'll start to slide away. It's like when someone tries to quit smoking or drinking alcohol or whatever their habits. It's work always, you know, and it's not easy to stop and stay. It's just, you know, everything just don't work out perfectly, you know.
Well, we have those friends that buy all the self-help books and, you know, nothing changes in their life. Well, they've never opened them. Like,
yeah.
Have you read them? Have you applied anything?
Or worse yet, you chase the shiny object thing and you do read it and put none of it to use. Like you actually have all the knowledge in you. It lays in you because you read the book, but you never took an action. The big one, like we've talked about this in a lot of our past.
This is my favorite, to take an action and then be like, it didn't work. Did you like actually give it time to work?
Correct.
Or are you just like, oh, this doesn't work?
Yeah, that's my little metaphor. PARB. PARB. It's a circle. That's the cycle, right? Potential, action, results, belief. Back to potential. It's just that circle. We all have the potential to do anything we want in this world. Limited possibilities, unlimited possibilities.
Unlimited. I just got gifted a place to stay.
A freaking house. So first of all, you gotta
like, it's so in my mind, like what just happened? And I have really been in this place of, did this happen? Like I could hang stuff in a closet. I don't have to live out of a suitcase.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Like I can get a house plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be a shift for you, but I can see that shift is right at the right time, for sure. And it's for a reason. You're going to make that shift and it's going to happen. And then
it just feels like the next adventure.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. That's what it is.
Because your life is a fucking adventure.
That's what it is. It's a
Unless
game.
Unless you choose to make it a burden.
Correct.
Well,
and most of us make it a burden. Most of us suffer everything. We suffer everything. You know, and that's the problem. As soon as you start to suffer everything, then it's a burden, right? But so you got to start to work on in small increments, learning ways to lessen that burden, lessen the friction, get more flow. And believe me, it'll compound. And when you start you got to start first, but it will compound. And when it compounds, it might seem like this long way off thing, but it's really not. The momentum will start to remove the friction. And next thing you know, you're going to have massive amounts of flow. It's a roll of life. It happens with money, with weight loss, with anything you do. It's the first action of getting started. And then it's building momentum on top of that. And, but you got to get started if you don't get started. So one of the ways you get started is join our coaching program. We'd love to have you and get you rocking and rolling. We'll do that. We'll do a private Zoom call. I'll set up a page after this. So below this video, just hit the link when you get this video and you can sign up and get you on the email list. And we'll let you know when we do it. Do it like maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now, or not even that long, like 2 weeks or something.
And they can reach us through our email addresses on our regular sites. What's yours? Scooblio Coaching?
No, I have two. My main one's at just mxscoob@gmail.com. That'd be the one that comes straight through, or scoob@scooblio.com. What's yours?
And I am Virginia at thiscoexistence.com.
Yeah, I love that. This coexistence. That's an awesome name. Did you feel this vibe we had on this one? Like it was just low key kind of.
It was chill. We're
It
chill
was real.
today.
It was real
Yeah.
chill today. It was real chill.
Just a conversation.
Just a conversation. Well, I think we gave a lot today. I think it was a great show, and I hope people got a lot of value and inspiration and motivation out of that, out of the stories. And if you got, you know how it is. If you guys got any questions, reach out to us. If you're loving these podcasts, please let us know. Sometimes in this Ethernet world, you don't realize that what's going on, and we just need some love by a thumbs up, and we're gonna keep going anyhow. But I'm just saying it's nice to see that and ask questions. If you got questions,
Yes.
ask the questions. Oh my gosh, please ask the questions. And you can do that through, if you want to do it privately, go through Motivational Mofos Messenger, and it's only me and Virginia who will see that, and or hit us up on our email, right?
Yeah.
That's an action. That's taking an action. Because I know a lot of people have stuff they want to ask stuff. I get this all the time, especially with more flow, less friction thing I'm doing, but they're afraid to ask. And once they do, it opens these floodgates. You know what I mean?
have to tell you, if you are afraid to ask, you definitely need an answer to your question, and somebody else out there probably needs the same answer. So in you seeking an answer for yourself, an answer can come across for so many other people. So be kind and ask the questions so that we can help as many people as possible.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. All right. Well, that's what to do. It was a great podcast today. I loved it. It was a good one. It was so chill. I like this chill. I wish I could stay on this vibe for about the rest of my life. I guess I can. It's just a decision, right? Well, peace out, everybody, with big love. We'll see you. Until next time, we're going to try to be back a lot quicker. See yous.